Hi, this is Dusty. Today I just want to talk about how Troubleshooter in DNF Duel has a lot of projectile canceling moves. Um, let's start with the B attack, which is this. This is a normal, but it's considered a projectile. As you see, it could erase most projectiles, well, most single hit projectiles, that is. This is also one of the moves that can cancel out projectiles, as well as this, whoops, I don't think I timed this correctly, but yeah. This one's even more difficult to time because the sword is actually a hurt box, so you can't hit the sword directly into the projectile, but the after explosions can cancel out projectiles. Whoops. As you can see, it's very difficult to time. And his grenades naturally cancel out projectiles. And there's also his DP, which is not. But yeah, it's particularly useful against zoners like Vanguard and Crusader. Crusader. In particular, only the orb is something that can be shot out. The spear, not so much. The spear, I don't think that's considered a projectile, or an erasable projectile, rather. But this is one of the ways you can fight against Crusader at a long range. There's also a common move used by like a lot of Dragon Knights will abuse the air fireball. There are multiple ways against it, but yeah, you can shoot it out. It's gonna take a lot of practice, but that's how you do it. Or you can just fire the main gun. He does suffer through, let's see. He does have trouble with, certain other projectiles, like Swiftmaster. Swiftmaster actually has projectiles that he can't counter very well. Where is it? There it is. Like, this is one of Troubleshooter's worst matchups, especially if the Swiftmaster knows what he's doing. But yeah, it's very difficult to. The Swiftmasters will rarely use that move at that distance, and even so, it takes effort and timing to get past that particular projectile. As you can see, they usually fire at this distance, and it's really hard to counter it. So against a Swiftmaster, your only two choices are either this one, the DP, or just counter. Otherwise, there's no real way to. It's really hard to fight against a Swiftmaster that corners you. Anyways, then there are characters that spam certain attacks, like Launcher. Like, I know many launchers like to keep their distance if they can. What ends up happening is they do so, especially if they don't have MP, they'll resort to something like this. And that can be very difficult for most characters. For Troubleshooter, he can shield himself from it. And that's the way, one of the few ways you can fight through it. It's especially useful. There are some projectiles that require a bit more work. For example, Kunoichi. Like, there's two particular projectiles from Kunoichi you should be worried about. One is the shurikens, or rather the kunai, and the other is the hurricane. Okay, let's start with the kunai. Oops. As you can see, you can't really shoot through it because the lower kunai is not affected by the shot. You do need a grenade to hit all three. Oh, that might work too. But again, this is a very risky move to throw against projectiles. Then we have Kunoichi's hurricane, or tornado rather. In order to fight this, you essentially use your big blast, because that's one of the only moves that could get rid of it. Oops. So yeah, if you're having trouble with zoners, consider using Troubleshooter's many projectile erasing attacks. Anyways, thanks for watching my video. I'll see you guys next time.